Welcome to the Your Business on Purpose podcast, the ultimate resource for women business owners looking to confidently navigate their entrepreneurial journey while upholding their principles. I'm Dawnette Palmore, your host and fellow entrepreneur. Join me as we immerse ourselves in illuminating conversations with accomplished experts spanning various fields across the business spectrum. Together, we'll unearth strategic insights into seizing opportunities and ensuring that your business is equipped with the essential elements aligned with your purpose and values. Welcome back to Your Business on Purpose podcast. This podcast where we help women entrepreneurs to gain clarity, confidence, and control in their business finances so they can thrive and live life on purpose. That fires me up when I say it. So today, the topic is kind of a big one. And honestly, one that could pretty much make or break your business. It's pricing for profit. And I know I've had other people talk about this on other podcasts, but it's always a good thing to revisit, to say things in a different manner, in a different way. And so I just really feel like I need to talk about this. So the truth is that so many women I've talked to are booked out, right? They're busy. They're doing all the things, but their bank account is telling a different story. They're not paying themselves. They're scared to raise their rates and they feel stuck, right? So if this is you, if you fit into those categories, if you feel stuck, if you're scared to raise your rates and you're not paying yourself, this episode is going to be a game changer for you. So make sure that you keep listening. But I want to talk about, what's really going on, right? So most entrepreneurs, especially women, struggle to price their services. And again, we've talked about this before, but let's just highlight the facts, right? So it's one, because we don't want to be too expensive, right? And when I talk to clients about what does expensive mean, what does expensive look like, what does that mean when you say that? You also have to think about who you're attracting when you say things like that. Who is your avatar? That is the first thing that you have to think about, right? Who are you trying to market to? And then you can set your price to them, but there's also other things you have to take into consideration. A lot of women I find feel guilty about charging their worth. And I feel like this is something that society has put on us, and it's like a generational thing as well, that we feel like we shouldn't charge a lot. We're selfish if we do, we're greedy, all these things that we've been told. So that is also an issue. And then we base our prices on what others are doing, right? Not what our business actually needs. So a lot of times what I see as well is that women will look at what their competition is doing, or their like competition, whatever you want to say, and they'll price based off that instead of saying, what does my business actually need? What does my personal finances entail, and what do they need? We just say, oh, look, they're charging X amount of money. That's what I should be charging. But that is not always the case. And it's probably actually never the case, to be quite frank. So we're going to get into this. But I did have a client who came to me saying, Donna, I'm so busy, but I still can't pay myself. And when we broke it down, she was charging $150 for a service that cost her $200 in time, tools, and materials. Okay? So she was literally losing money every time she serviced someone. So if we're not pricing for profit, we're working for free, or worse, we're paying to work, which is not why we went into business. And I'm not, trying to shame you or make you feel bad about it. I just want to bring an awareness to you so that you can make um, a decision based on what we talk about today. And I definitely want to see you win. I want to see you make money. I want to see your business flourish. I want to see all your dreams come true. That would make me happy. So what I want to do is make a shift today, right? So here is my framework for pricing for profit. Now, one of the number one things we have to know is what? Know our numbers, right? Know your numbers, non-negotiable. I've talked about this on a lot of podcasts. Know your numbers. So what does that mean? It means, what are your monthly expenses in your business? What is your monthly expenses? Meaning, what does it cost for your business to run every day, for the doors to stay open? What does that look like, right? The time it takes to deliver your service. So if you're a coach like me, it's not just the time we spend with the client. There's pre-work and there's post-work, right? And there's also, the time in between that we're communicating with clients and things like that. Research, whatever it is, you got to think about that. And then we also have to consider tools, subscriptions, and materials. That all needs to be factored in. And that's part of knowing our numbers. And then, of course, last but not least, but most important, is how much you want to pay yourself. And maybe it's how much you need to pay yourself at the moment, which is fine. You can do that. And how do you do that? Know your numbers on your personal side. And then what you want to pay yourself, you can always work in later as you grow your business. But that is knowing your numbers. So number 2 is going to be determine your break-even point. So if it costs you $75 to deliver a service and you're charging $85, your margins are probably a little bit too thin, right? But break even helps us to set a baseline. And this is, again, part of knowing our numbers. We won't know the answer to this question if we don't know our numbers and know what our business is costing. So we can then adjust from there. But we have to know first, what does it cost for me to deliver this service or this product, right? And then, of course, we want to add a profit margin. Profit is not selfish. Profit is not selfish. It's sustainable. Profit is not greed. It's sustainable. Profit is not evil. Profit is not bad. Profit is what we need to grow our business. Profit is what we need to continue to serve our clients. Profit is what we need to put food on the table. Profit is what we need to fund our dreams, right? We have to think about those things. So we want to say our profit should be 20 to 30% above our cost, right? So this allows us to do a lot of things. It allows us to reinvest. It allows us to build reserves, right? Because we've talked about that in other podcasts too. We need to have reserves, or I like to call that a hills and valley fund. And then, of course, an emergency fund also for our business. And then it allows us to plan for the future. And then I would say test and adjust. So we don't want to wait till everything's perfect. We always hear that, right? Don't wait till everything's perfect. We need to just get started. One coach says messy action. We have to take messy action. This is what sets successful people apart from unsuccessful. One of the many things is that they just take action. No matter what it looks like, they just take it and then they figure it out as they go. They don't wait till everything's perfect. So we want to start with a strong number, right? And as our confidence and our experience and expertise grows, then we can adjust, right? We can adjust. But remember, you are not your price. You are the value behind it. So, pricing mindset shifts. Let's talk about this a little bit because pricing isn't just about math, right? Our finances aren't just about math. It's really emotional and it's about worth. But here's what I really want you, a truth I want you to anchor to, okay? You are not charging for your time. You are charging for transformation. Now, if you can put this in a service or a product, right? Um, so we're charging for the transformation that we give our clients, what they get. And when you stop and think about your testimonies or stories, that is what you charge on. Okay? We're charging for the transformation that we bring. Same with a product. Products bring value as well, right? Products bring a transformation as well. Why do you think the beauty industry is a multi-billion-dollar industry? Because when we look good, we feel good. And it gives us confidence, and that is priceless to some of us, right? We are spending billions of dollars to look our best, because when we look our best, we feel our best. And that's important because then we show up as our best, right? And whatever that may look like for you. But products are just as important as a service, right? They bring some type of transformation. And that's what we need to focus on when we're um, re- telling and explaining the value that we bring. Okay, so our price will reflect our education. Let me tell you, some of you have paid a lot of money for education, what you do, and not just, I'm not just talking about a college degree, but there's continuing education. I know I've paid thousands and tens of thousands of dollars in educating myself um, in different arenas and areas. Our experience, oh my gosh, how many people have I talked to, especially service based people? Um, their business is because of an experience they've had. My business is because of an experience I've had with, having a business, making great money, but not really knowing where it's going and feeling broke all the time. Uh, that was like, oh, wow, okay. I need to do something about this. I found a process and I was like, I need to create a business. I need to tell more people about this. So, thinking about your experience as well, your energy, right? No one has the same energy as you. And then the result that we help our clients to achieve. Those are the factors in our pricing, okay, and our value. So when we when we undercharge, we don't just hurt our bottom line, okay? We confuse our market and attract clients who don't value our work. So when we think about this, how many times have we given discounts, lower prices, whatever it may be, and that person that we did that to was not 100% vested? It ended up being someone who didn't follow through. And then, of course, they say it's because of us, our stuff didn't work, things like that. So, again, I talked about earlier, we want to think about who is our avatar, who are we trying to attract and market towards that person, but price towards those people as well. So, I'm giving you permission to charge like you were a freaking CEO, because you are a badass CEO. Okay, you are a boss babe. You need to be charging like a boss babe because you are worth it. What you have is worth it. It brings value to the marketplace. It brings transformation to people's lives, and that's why we're in business. So, I just want to say, we're not running a charity, we're building a business. And if you want to build a business to run a charity, that is perfectly fine as well, because that is also one of the things I would like to do. But those are two separate things, right? So, um, one of my favorite stories is from a client that I coached last year. She was charging $500 for services that took her about 10 plus hours, right? Whew, she was exhausted and a little bit resentful. And so we broke it down, restructured her packages, added bonuses and clarity around the transformation, right? And we raised her rates to $1,500. And you're thinking, whoo, that triple, oh my gosh. But guess what? Not only did she keep her clients, but she started to get better ones, right? Ones who were invested, ones who respected her boundaries, ones who really got the transformation, right? So also for the first time, she was able to take a paycheck, which is incredible. So we have to think about all these things while we're deciding what our price should be. Think about all these things, how we serve people, what transformation we bring to them. So I want you to think about 4 things as we close this podcast. Audit your pricing. Are you actually making a profit on each offer? Then 2, list all your business expenses, right? And guess what? Don't forget about taxes and don't forget about yourself. Number 3, calculate your break-even point, right? So know your minimum rate. What is the absolute minimum I need to charge? 4, choose one offer and adjust it, right? Whether it's adding margin, raising your price, or building more value, take action. And just as another coach said, and mentor, take messy action, but just get out there and do it, okay? So if this feels overwhelming to you, I get it. Finances can be overwhelming to us, but that's why I created a great resource for you. It's financial literacy for business owners. It's an ebook. It's completely free. I will have the link in the show notes so that you can go there and get your free copy. Download it. You can print it out and write in it, or you could do a PDF and just fill it out as you go. I also have a Find More Cash Flow challenge that runs monthly. I will put the link in the show notes for you too. So if you need a little bit of help, if you're not sure what direction to go, you can do either of those and they will help you on your way. And they're really just packed with tools to help you get clear and take control. So thank you guys so much for being here. I appreciate you so very much. And if there's a topic that you'd like me to cover, please reach out to me on Instagram at Your Money on Purpose, or I'm on LinkedIn, or you can email me at yourmoneyonpurpose@gmail.com and give me a topic that you want me to cover or an expert that you would like me to bring in, because as you know, I'm always bringing in experts. But as we wrap up this episode, remember, conducting business on purpose not only fuels your success, but it also propels you towards a purposeful life. So thank you again for tuning in. You are appreciated. And until next time, embrace your journey of intentional business and purposeful. This podcast is dedicated to you and all the incredible women out there breaking chains, pushing through, and striving to make it all work. Your support truly means the world to me. Could you do me a favor? Be a gem and leave a review. It will help us reach even more women, making a bigger impact. Your feedback is invaluable, and I would genuinely appreciate it. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe, ensuring you never miss an episode. Until next week, live a purposeful life in both your business and your finances.